Hello again, welcome back to another video, and welcome to Hozukyo Station. Now, you might think that this station looks like a pretty normal station, but trust me, you're very wrong. If I show you the view from the platform, I think you'll see exactly what I mean. And this is the view. Pretty spectacular, isn't it? The station is built on a bridge which spans the valley, and in fact there are tunnels at either end of the station platforms effectively. This is a train heading towards Kyoto, just entering one of the tunnels now. Flowing underneath the bridge, and therefore underneath the station, is the Hozu River, otherwise known as the Katsura River. This river ultimately flows through Arashiyama, one of the districts of Kyoto most popular with tourists. The stretch of river from Kameoka, just upriver, to Arashiyama itself is well known for kawakudari. This in English is something like river rafting, although as you can see here, the raft is actually more like a boat. I like to think of kawakudari as going down whitewater bits of a river in a boat that really wasn't designed to go down whitewater bits of a river, if that makes sense. Anyway, back to the station itself. You might be asking, why build a station on a bridge across a valley? Well, good question. In fact, this is actually what we might call the new line. The original Sain line followed the course of the river much more closely, threading its way up through the valley, and therefore had a lot more curves. This new section of line, bypassing the tortuous riverside section, and with double track and electrified, was opened in 1989. Looking from the station platform though, you can still see the old line. It's that sort of embankment to the left side of the river. And actually, the section of line that was superseded by this new line is actually still used today by the train we can see just here. It's called a Toroko train, which is basically an open-sided tourist train. The tourist train runs between Saga Arashiyama and Kameoka. And it shouldn't be too hard to imagine that it is really, really popular with tourists, especially in autumn, when the leaves are absolutely spectacular here. Anyway, this is another view of the gorge from the platform for trains away from Kyoto. There's absolutely nothing at this station, nor, for that matter, anywhere close to the station. There's no village or anything, but nevertheless, this is one of the stations that I keep coming back to, primarily because it is so spectacular. Anyway, here's a train just about to stop at the station. Not all of the trains on the line stop here. In fact, there are express trains, local trains with limited stops, and local trains that stop at every station running on the line. Only the trains that stop at every station stop at Hozukyo. Anyway, it is a really, really hot and humid day today, but I'm going to go for a walk. You know what they say about mad dogs and Englishmen? Well, for this Englishman, it's true. So, this is the road away from the station. This road only serves the station. As I say, there's nowhere else around the station for it to serve. I haven't been to the spot I want to go to now in a good few years, maybe 10 years or so. It's only about a 5-minute walk away, but it is up quite a steep hill, so I hope it's still worth the walk. We'll see in about 5 minutes or so, I suppose. In fact, we'll see in considerably less than 5 minutes, because I'm going to speed up this little bit. I think that if you turn left at the end of this bridge, you do get to some sort of little settlement. But I'm going right. There's road salt in that little hut or whatever it is there, in case the road gets icy. It's like a furnace here today, but in winter, the area north of Kyoto can actually get very cold and very snowy. We can get a little glimpse of the station just here, but we can get a much better view from just here. This is where I wanted to walk to, and yes, it is still worth a walk. You can really see from here how much the station is just in the middle of nature. Here's a slightly more zoomed in look at the station. And here is a stopping train just arriving. This train is heading up towards Sonobe, so away from Kyoto, in other words. It looks like one person got off that train. The most recent usage figures I can find for the station show 178 people using it a day. I have to say, I find that a little bit difficult to believe, really. I mean, given that it's only 30 minutes from Kyoto, it's a convenient station to commute from, but I just can't see that there are enough people in this area to use the station for commuting. It's a conundrum. Anyway, here's another train. And this looks to be one of the limited stop services that don't stop. Anyway, while I'm up here, I'm going to wait and see if I can see an express train. Okay, I've been waiting for about 5 minutes or so, and I can hear a train in one of the tunnels. And here indeed is an express train. Judging from the time, I would say that that is the Maizuru and Hashidate services. They run together as far as Ayabe, and then they're split into two separate trains. Anyway, it is quite ridiculously hot up here, so I'm going to head back to the railway station. Okay, here we are back at the station, just in time to see another train. This is another service from Kyoto. I think it's heading to Sonobe. So I'm standing at the end of the platform here, and you can see how close the platform is to the tunnel. This tunnel is actually quite short, and you can see the other end of it. And actually, I've just seen that there is a train coming through the tunnel right now. I'm pretty sure that this is a Kinosaki service. Anyway, this is the platform for trains back towards Kyoto. It's the platform I need to catch my train from. But just before I do catch a train, I'm going to take a walk along the platform and take a look at the gorge from the other side. The views I showed you earlier from the other platform were upstream from the station, but from this platform, obviously, we can see downstream. As you can see, there really isn't much in terms of facilities at the station. There is a little station building with a ticket machine, and there is a vending machine for drinks, but that's about it. And once you're on the platform, of course, well, there really is nothing, apart from the wonderful view, of course. I don't think I'd want to be waiting here for a train in bad weather, let's put it that way. Anyway, let's just go a little bit further along the platform. That little 4 that is just coming up is the end of where 4-car trains stop, so I don't want to go much further than this. But this is more than good enough. This is looking directly down from the station platform. And the place I walked to earlier is just at the very right hand side of where that concrete reinforcement is. Anyway, I can hear some shouting from the river down below. And there is the source of the shouting. It's not just the Kawakudari boats. This area is pretty popular with rafters too. They certainly seem to have had a pretty good time. I'm not sure that I would be up for rafting myself though, I have to say. The Kawakudari boats, I think I could do. Anyway, this was going to be my train, but to be honest, I'm having too much fun enjoying the view, so I'll catch the next one. There are roughly 3 services an hour from here to Kyoto, but they're not evenly spaced. So actually it's only 15 minutes or so until the next train. And not to be outdone by the rafters, here is one of the Kawakudari boats. Actually, I did just say that I could probably do one of these, but looking at it, I'm not so sure. It might be a little bit difficult to see on the video, but there is a person at the back of the boat steering with that sort of long oar thing. And there's also another person at the very front of the boat with a big pole to push the boat away from any rocks. I'm sure it is safe. I mean, they must have been doing these boat tours for years. But I have to say, it doesn't fill me with complete confidence. I think, on the whole, I would give it a miss. Watching from here, from the station, is good enough for me, I think. And here's another Kawakudari boat. You can see the man steering at the back much more clearly in this one. And there also seems to be someone steering from the side of the boat as well. Interesting. Fascinating, really. I could stand here all day and watch the river, watch the valley, watch the boats. Unfortunately though, given the weather, I'm very conscious of getting sunburnt. So I really should catch the next train back to Kyoto. If you're in Kyoto or Arashiyama though, Hozukyo Station is a really good place to visit. Anyway, this is my train just coming, so I'd better finish. Thank you as ever for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and this little trip to Hozukyo. I hope to see you again in another video very soon, but for now, goodbye.